And another thing, the men's is dressing like studs now. The men are dressing like studs. Y'all keep like old little girls and boys clothing. Y'all want to dress like boys. Y'all want to dress like men. The men's is dressing like studs.
A man could have the most perfect woman in the world and still f it up.
So I feel like this is the conversation us as a group of people have been needing to have, that clearly I have to lead it. So I'm going to lead it. And I have a lot of gay men that are upset, but let me explain to them why saying that I wear lip gloss and my voice and all of that doesn't matter. A man is who he chooses to be. Masculinity isn't about domination or denial. It's about intention, integrity, and growth.
Can you imagine my face as I'm sitting on my balcony and a random man walks past and says, "You are really pretty"?
How to tell if your man is down low? He lets you at all.
House cleaning before we get started. For those that are rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for your boy, don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Everybody, your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now, let's get to it. Drop the video.
And another thing, the men's is dressing like studs now. The men are dressing like studs. Y'all keep like old little girls and boys clothing. Y'all want to dress like boys. Y'all want to dress like men. The men's is dressing like fucking studs. I have seen 3 men on my timeline alone today that I thought were studs by the way they were fucking dressed. Like, y'all dressing like studs, y'all starting to look like studs. Or maybe my world is just so fucking gay that I can't,
Could it just be that studs are emulating men so well that they are genuinely in the same outfits from head to toe, the same haircuts, the same styles that men have? And so, since your world is so gay and all you clearly conjugate around are people in the LGBTQ community, you seem to think that, because that's all you see by your own admission, that straight men are now emulating studs. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. I cannot fathom where you pulled this out of. Y'all get dumber and dumber as the days go by. I swear, this fishing for content, y'all want engagement, y'all want clicks and likes, y'all create this gaslighting and rage bait, but come on, man. This shit doesn't make a lick of sense. There is no straight man out here trying to emulate studs. They're not getting any aspect of their look from their own community. They're going outside of their community, going into the straight community, in particular straight men, and emulating their swag and style. So how in the hell could you fix your lips and say that the straight men are now emulating studs? I have no disrespect for stud kings at all. You know, I rock with them over here on this channel. I ain't got nothing against them. But I'm not buying this whole silly notion that straight men are emulating studs. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all can't be this stupid. Y'all can't be this slow.
A man could have the most perfect woman in the world and still fuck it up. And you want to know why? It's because he doesn't really like women.
How many ways are y'all gonna find to infer or insinuate that men are DL, that they don't like women, they're actually GAY, they get into relationships with women because they're fighting their closeted homosexuality? Could it just be that y'all were not compatible? Can it just be that men have the absolute right, like women, to decide if they want to be in a relationship or not? And what makes a woman so perfect? Perfect to whom? Perfect by whose standard? Clearly, the man she's in the relationship with, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about yourself here, the man she's in a relationship with have to view her the same way as she views herself or other women view her, or it's just women patting each other on the back for being what? Normal people? There's no such thing as a perfect person in no gender. So for you to get up here and fix your lip and be like, men can have a perfect woman and still leave her or mess it up because they don't like women. What? What is this? Y'all have found so many different ways to make men DL because y'all can't get the men you desire and keep them in a relationship. Maybe the man just didn't like you. Maybe it just didn't work out. Let's use Arkham Razor here. Let's go by the most basic premise. Maybe y'all were just not compatible. Maybe your worldviews didn't match. Maybe your morals and standards and your values didn't match. Maybe the relationship just ended on irreconcilable differences. Why does it always have to be this extreme? Men and women fall out of love and relationships all the time, but for some reason, you heifers on social media, you always come to the stupidest conclusion that men are DL when the relationship doesn't work out. How many more of these asinine takes are y'all gonna do to excuse the fact that it might just be you in the relationship that's the problem? It's not always the men. Y'all always automatically assume that it's the man that's the problem, when a lot of times y'all are equally dysfunctional. Y'all are equal in the problems in the relationships, but y'all can't sit and deal with that. You can't do self-reflection. Y'all can never do self-reflection. This is the problem. This is why y'all keep running into roadblocks, keep running into walls, because you don't understand that two people are in the relationship and one of them isn't the perfect person who y'all think she is. She's not. A lot of times these women have dysfunction, trauma, and baggage that they bring into their own relationships. And when that man, which is rare that men leave relationships, decide to leave, now he's gay.
So I feel like this is the conversation us as a group of people have been needing to have, that clearly I have to lead it. So I'm going to lead it. And I have a lot of gay men that are upset, but let me explain to them why saying that I wear lip gloss and my voice and all of that doesn't matter. A man is who he chooses to be. Masculinity isn't about domination or denial. It's about intention, integrity, and growth. A man becomes a man when he knows who he is or is willing to find out, even if he breaks the mold of what he was taught to follow. Not much about muscle. It's not about money. It's not about how many women. It's not about none of that. It's about accountability, presence, and emotional power. Like I always tell people, a lot of people find power in like money and controlling people. That's not power. True power is in here. Okay? Remember that. A man protects without possessing. Protection isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's communal. A real man doesn't dominate his partners or his kids. He holds a space, makes people feel safer, not smaller. He can stand in the line of fire without becoming the fire. A man feels and faces his emotion. Patriarchy taught men to numb or run from their feelings, but real manhood is about being able to sit with pain, admit fear, apologize without crumbling. That's power, that's leadership, and that's freedom. A man doesn't need to prove he's a man. If you constantly have to prove that you're a man through violence, control, silence, or intimacy, then you're trapped in somebody's definition of what a man is. Real manhood is internal. Like I keep telling y'all, it's not performative. It's not something that you do. It's who you are. A man stands up for what's right, even if he has to do it alone. Hello, you see how I'm doing this alone? I don't care, because whether I'm speaking the truth or I'm standing in the vulnerable or breaking generational curses, I'm going to do what's right over what's easy or what's popular. And let's go ahead and sum it up. A man honors his full self. A man can be masculine, he can be soft. A man can cry, he can nurture, he can create, and he can still be powerful. A man can be straight, he can be queer, he can be bi, he can be trans, and none of that takes away from manhood. Because manhood isn't about your body, it's in your alignment. So if white supremacy, patriarchy, and the media never existed, we have a whole different understanding of what a man is, okay? Because a lot of y'all, when you tag me for my physical appearance, you're literally feeding into white supremacy. That's why you don't think you're a man, because you don't fit the physical aesthetic of it. That's why a lot of you men aren't happy. Be yourself. They literally condition you to think that being yourself is something bad. That's why you're internalizing all of these things and you feel like you have no power over yourself, and that's why you exert it through violence. If you just be yourself, come out of the closet, be happy, be who you are, I promise you your life will be a lot better and you won't be so angry.
Of course, all roads lead to someone being in the closet. Why is it that all roads, when it comes to men dealing with issues of masculinity and actually knowing who they are and what a man is, it always leads to someone being in the closet? This cannot be your outlook on every single thing that men struggle with. Men are human beings just like everyone else is. And men can have issues with masculinity that stem from being raised by a mother who just didn't understand what masculinity was because she was seeing it through the eyes of a feminine perspective. A lot of men, in particular black men, are raised in single-led mother households. This is why they have this dysfunctional outlook on masculinity. It has nothing to do with being in the closet. Do I agree with 70% of what he said about masculinity? Sure, with some tweaks. But at the end of the day, y'all have got to stop trying to label masculinity as toxic and something to fear because you yourself are struggling with your own identity. Masculinity is a wonderful thing. Masculinity has literally cultivated the world into the first world technology center that you live in. So masculinity can't be that bad. The problem is, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to put all my cards on the table right now. The problem with a lot of intersectionality, a lot of feminists, a lot of misandrists, a lot of people in the LGBTQ, they can't control men. And that's what all of this is about. They want to control men. They fear masculinity because they can't control it. Because men, for the most part, are going to push back against dominance. It's not that men want to dominate, they don't want to be dominated as well. So if you're trying to socially engineer control over men, they're going to push back. It has nothing to do with toxic masculinity. It has nothing to do with men being dysfunctional or not knowing what true masculinity is or don't know what a man is. Men absolutely know what men are supposed to be if they're raised from a masculine perspective, a healthy masculine perspective. Are there instances of men who are raised by their father in some toxic form of masculinity? Sure. But that's not the majority. Again, y'all like to skate in the outliers and the anecdotal things, but never look at what's typical, general, or normal. Most men are not toxic. Most men have a healthy perspective on masculinity. And you cannot keep coming back to this whack ass point of view that if some men, by the way, who are raised by their mothers, struggle with actual true masculinity, it's because they're in the closet. They're not in the closet. They just have a dysfunctional purview of what masculinity is and what it looks like because they got it from a jaded perspective, typically from their mothers. But this nonsense here, acting as if men are in the closet because they don't view your particular brand of masculinity, is asinine, sir. And I can't believe that y'all would flock to this guy's content and always look for any instance of a man not being what you think he should be because he's gay.
Can you imagine my face as I'm sitting on my balcony and a random man walks past and says, "You are really pretty"? Sir, I just got through deep cleaning my apartment for 2 hours. I haven't even washed my face this morning. I'm convinced that men like anything because what?
Imagine being so pretentious that you get a compliment and the first thing you do instead of saying thank you and being grateful that someone actually appreciated you in your natural state of beauty, you go to social media to complain about it. Some of y'all are just miserable and will never be happy. Even when you get positive reinforcement, you see it as a negative because you're so used to being a victim that anything in any circumstance, you can become a victim in that circumstance. The man did nothing but pay you a compliment. And you're on social media whining, crying, and bitching because someone gave you a compliment without you being made up or dolled up. What if men actually prefer you in your natural state and think that your natural state, shocking, I know, wait for it, is actually beautiful? It's actually a true reflection of what pretty and an aesthetic of beauty looks like, not the made up version that y'all so in droves flock to. Men have told y'all time and time again, the lashes, the makeup, the wigs and weave are not what they prefer. They prefer you in your natural state, and y'all give them pushback again and again because y'all just don't believe that men can actually admire you in your natural state because you listen to other women tell you that this is what men like instead of listening to men. Why do y'all go to each other to get advice on what men like instead of going to the source? Ma'am, stop this nonsense. You're complaining about something that most women would have loved to have, a compliment.
How to tell if your man is down low? He lets you play in his back door at all. He is not straight. Okay? At all. I don't care if it's the finger, what? At all. He's not straight.
I can't believe y'all got me agreeing with the DL Whisperer. This has got to be a sad day when I have to concede that he may have a point. Look, I don't agree with a lot of this guy's content because I believe it's just misandry disguised as trying to alert women to potential DL men. I think this guy has a bit of homophobia himself. Being part of that community, I know it's weird, but to me, a lot of the things he says is homophobic. It's just homophobic nonsense. But I can't believe I have to agree with him. Look, I'm not going to tell people what to do in their own bedroom. That's not my bag. Whatever kink you have, that's on you. But the man does have a valid point. And I would say that if I need to know how to catch a fish, I'm going to go to the fisherman. And this guy knows what men like who are in that way. So I'm going to have to concede to the experts here. He has a point. Dude got a point, man. Look, that's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get a crack into the comments. I'll catch y'all in the credits. Two fingers. Peace. I'm out of here. He has a point. He has a point.
Like Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless. If we don't got that obsessive love, then what are we doing? I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Made me feel like I'm a